Hey guys, so next topic is going to be the Industrial Revolution. So after the French Revolution, we got into the Industrial Revolution. So Industrial Revolution was about a couple of different things. It was about food production first, then it was about kind of industry and imperialism, and then we got into um, labor unions and industrial capitalism and things like that. So to start, make a note of the AIM, include the number R9, copy the AIM word for word, and make sure you get this vocab in your notebooks. This is like vocab critical to the unit. There's other vocab that is relevant, but as far as what is most critical, I would probably say this. We're splitting hairs, but there's a ton of vocab. You'll notice that the assignment has vocab worksheet attached with it, so there's plenty to know. So you could pause this and finish getting this stuff into your notebook, and when you're done, you could just unpause it, resume the video and keep moving. So I'm going to go through it pretty quickly. All the takeaways, big takeaways from this unit are all on this slide right here. That's it. So we started with agrarian revolution. The idea that we become more efficient food producers has a couple of significant impacts. It increases the food supply, but it also means that we now need fewer workers than ever before to produce food. So those people who used to work in agriculture that are no longer needed are made available to staff factories. So there's an available labor supply. And it's because of this agrarian revolution that labor supply becomes available. So as this continues to kind of take shape, people leave farming and agriculture more and more rapidly and eventually head towards where the jobs are. And that's going to become cities, and we'll go over that. So both the agrarian revolution and the beginning stages of the industrial revolution are centered on the idea of technological improvement. So basically, new machines, steam engine, the new processes like the assembly line, the Bessemer process to turn iron into steel. There's a number of different things. All of that stuff is greatly important. What we're doing is we're mechanizing labor. So we're becoming more efficient producers. So as we become more efficient producers, we can mass produce goods quicker and cheaper than ever before. So if the price of a good is dependent on how long it takes to produce, this is going to have significant impacts on the cost of goods for most people. So this makes things that used to be not available to everybody, now they're available to everyone. So people start flocking to cities to kind of get jobs in these factories, and this results in urbanization. And it's pretty ugly living conditions. People are living just to work. So you live in a room with 20 of your best friends, and no windows, no ventilation. It's very unhygienic. So a lot of the living conditions that we saw, that facilitated the spread of the plague, or what we saw on slave ships, a lot of these conditions are being mimicked here willingly by some people. This will give birth to communism. What's happening is factory owners are taking advantage of factory workers. There's so many workers that need jobs that factory owners are profiting off of their exploitation. So while they're paid very little, factory owners are maximizing their profits because they're paying very little. Factory owners are not going to spend a ton of money on making safe workplaces and hygienic work conditions for a lot of people. The workers also don't have a ton of power, so they are at the whim of the owner. So they will work the hours that the owner demands, 7 days a week, whatever it takes. So there's not workers' rights. It's unhygienic. It's dangerous. And this gives birth to the idea of communism from Marx and Engels. Marx and Engels come up with the idea that this exploitation of the worker is a situation that is only going to resolve itself if the workers rise up in violent rebellion against factory owners. So that is Marx and Engels' vision. So the idea is that instead of there being workers and owners, workers will overthrow owners, become part owner themselves. That's the idea of communism. And create a classless society where there are no workers and owners. There are only workers/owners, and everyone is the same. And we all share in the profits together. later on, when we get into the Cold War, we'll talk about what was good about this, what was bad about this, what are the far-reaching impacts for different people, and the impact of whether or not a classless society really is the result of a communist or socialist practice. So we'll talk about that. So this is all the big takeaways. If you guys have any questions, make sure you just email me, and make sure you pay attention to the vocab sheet. Use your old notes to complete the review sheet. The answers to the multiple choice practice questions are there. Test yourself, and then try to see how you did with the answer sheet. And I'm around all day. If anybody needs me, just shoot me an email. All right, guys. Later.